Good people, Sanbonan, Makebalo. Now we're going to do the second part of the geometric sequence where we're finding the unknown variables. Now remember, geometric sequence tells us about a ratio. Now, how do we find a ratio? Remember, a ratio tells us that T2 over T1 should be equals to T3 over T2. A ratio. This is very, 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 very important. In this case, what is my T2? I know my T2 is going to be 3x plus 1 all over my T1 as x plus 2. This is equals to my T3 is what? Is 7x minus 1 all over 3x plus 1. This is very, very, very important. And then from here, we do what we call a cross multiplication. Now, brackets are going to be very, very important because these are two terms and then these are two terms. So we're going to say bracket x plus 2 into 7x minus 1 equals 2 bracket 3x plus 1 into 3x plus 1. This is very, very, very important. Now from here, you open the brackets. Everyone should know how to do this step. So this times that should give me 7x squared. This times that should give me negative x. This times that should be 14 because 7 times 2 is 14. So should be positive 14x. And then this times that should give me a negative 2 is equals to 3 times 3 should give me 9, so should be 9x squared, and then 3 and 1 should give me 3x, 3 and 1 again, it's 3x, and then plus 1. Then from there is 7x squared, so negative 1 plus 14 should give me positive 13x, and then minus 2 is equals to 9x squared. 3 plus 3 should be 6x, and then plus 1. Then you're going to take this thing back to this side, so it's going to be 0 is equals to 9x squared minus 7x squared, then plus 6x minus 13x, and then plus 1, and then plus 2, and then 0 is equals to 9 minus 7 should give me 2x squared, and then 6 minus 13 should give me a negative 7x, and then plus 3. Then from here we can do what we call what? A quadratic formula. X is equals to negative into negative 7 plus or minus square root of negative 7 squared minus 4a, which is 2, and then c as 3, and then all over 2 into a as 2. And then let's see what the values of x do we find now. Minus into minus 7 plus into a square root of negative 7 squared minus 4a is 2 into 3 all over 2 into 2, and then I'll get my x as 3, and then the second one, if I change the negative, there is going to be x is equals to, if I change positive to be negative, so it's minus, it's going to be x into 1 over 2. So these are the values of x that we find here. Remember, they're saying determine the values in the plural form as us. So we have two values of x that they were looking for. Now let's go to a second one. Now the second one here, is saying x minus 4, x plus 2, 3x plus 1 are the first three terms of this geometric pattern. Again, this is very important. Geometric has to talk about a ratio. Now, a ratio, remember, is T2 over T1 is equals to T3 over T2. And then basically determine this determine the sequence if x is positive. If x is positive, this is very, very important with determining what the sequence. So we're going to start by finding the value of x. After finding the value of x, we're going to take the value of x that is positive, and then we're going to determine our sequence. Now, my T2 in this case is going to be x plus 2 all over T1 is going to be x minus 4. Then is equals to T3 is going to be 3x plus 1 all over my T2 as x plus 2. Again, from here, we do what we call a cross multiplication. So we're going to have x minus 4. Brackets are going to be very, very important. 3x plus 1 is equals to 3x plus 2 into x plus 2. And then from here, we open the bracket. So it's going to be 3x squared and plus x. And then this one is going to be negative 12. 3 times 2, 3 times 4 is 12. So it's going to be negative 12x and then minus 4. And then is equals to x squared s, and x is x squared, and then plus 2x plus 2x and then plus 4. And then from here, I'm having 3x squared. Then this one here gives me a negative 11x and then minus 4, and then is equals to x squared and then plus 4x and then plus 4. Then from here, I'm going to take this, come to this side now, because I remember I'm trying to avoid to have a negative x squared. But even if we do, it's not going to be any difference there. So it's going to be 3x squared minus x squared and minus 11x and then minus 4 x and then minus 4 and then minus 4, then it's going to be equals to 0. And then this one here is going to give me a positive 2x squared. And then this one here is going to give me 11. Come on, negative 15. And then this one here give me minus 8, and then is equals to 0. Again, from here, we go straight to quadratic. X is equals to negative into negative 15 plus or minus square root of negative 15 squared minus 4a, my a is 2, my c it's negative 8, and then all over 2 into 2, then you punch your calculator. So it's square root of negative into negative 15, and then plus into negative 15 squared minus 4a, which is 2, and then c is negative 8, all over 2 into 2. And then we have x as 8, or x is equals to negative 1 over 2. And then the question lapaya ite determine the sequence if the x is positive. That my x is positive. Now let's determine the sequence. Basically, we're going to take this and substitute it back here. So if I have x is 8, so it's going to be 8 minus 4. I'm going to have it as 4. And then the other one, 8 plus 2. 8 plus 2 is going to be 10. And then 3 into 8, and then plus 1. I'm going to have it as 25. So this is going to be a sequence. If x is positive, meaning we don't consider this one, we only consider it when the x is positive. Now let's go to the last one. Now this last one, now it's saying again t plus 1 into 1 minus t into 1 minus 5t. These are the first three terms of this geometric sequence. Now let's determine the numerical value of t, where t is not equals to 0. So we know that our t should not be equals to 0. Now again, this is a geometric sequence. Again, geometric sequence needs to start by saying t2 over T1 is equals to T3 over T2. Again, this is number A. Now my T2 again is 1 minus T all over T1 is T plus 1 is equals to T3 is 1 minus 5T all over T2 is 1 minus T. Again, from there, we do what we call a cross multiplication, and then brackets are going to be very, very important. So T plus 1 into 1 minus 5T, and then equals to, sorry about this one, and then equals to 1 plus, 1 minus, sorry, 1 minus t into another 1 minus t. And then we open our bracket here. So this and this is going to be t. And this is going to be minus 5t squared, because I'm timesing this and this. Now you're going to be very careful here. This and this again is going to be plus 1, and this is going to be minus 5t, and then is equals to 1 and 1 is going to be t, 1 and t is minus t, this and this again is minus. I'm making a mistake now here. Let's start fresh. 1 and 1 is 1. Then 1 and t is minus t. 1 and t again is minus t. Then t and t is going to be positive because both of these t's are negative. So it's going to be t squared. Now from here, let me put this thing in the right way. I'm going to start with the squared. It's going to be negative 5t squared. Now this and this is going to give me a negative 4t, and then plus 1 is equals to, again, then put this one into order. It's going to be t squared, and then this is going to be minus 2t, and then plus 1. Now let me take all this to the other side. So we're going to have 0 here is equals to t2 plus 5t squared, then minus 2t, and then plus 4t, and then plus 1, and then come this one becomes minus 1, and then 0 is equals to, this give me 6t squared, and then this one here is negative 2 plus 4 give me positive 2t, and this is 0. Then from here, this is very important. Hopefully you can see that there is a common factor here. If you don't see a common factor, guys, again, go straight to quadratic formula. Just go straight into quadratic formula. There's no one who's gonna kill you. Angeke marks, the one is gonna cancel your marks or anything. But I can see common factor of 2t here. And then take the common factor, I'm going to be left with what? With 3t, and then here it's going to be what? Plus 1. Then from here, I know that 2t is going to be equals to 0, and then this, or 3t is going to be equals to negative 1, because this goes to the other side. Let me write this negative 1. -1. And then this divided by 2 is basically t is going to be 0. But here that t should not be equals to 0. So we're not taking this one. So we divide by t, divide by 3. So my t basically is -1/3. That's the numerical value of t that they are looking for. Now let's determine the sequence. Obviously, we're not going to take this one. We're going to take this one. So we're going to substitute it now here and see what term or the sequence that we have. Now, if it's -1/3 and then plus 1, so we're going to have it as 2/3 as the first term. Then the second term, 1 minus into -1/3. That is the second one is 4/3. Then the last one, 1 minus 5 into -1/3. And then we get it as 8/3. Now that's the sequence that they are looking for. Now after finding that sequence, that is number B. That is B. And then C, they're asking us to find the 10th term. Now remember, I've told you that if they are saying 10th term, you can say, okay, R A into R, if this is 10, meaning this is going to be 9. Then from there, what is going to be my R? Now let's find R because I know A is going to be this one. So my R now, again, you go to your calculator and say 4 divided by 3, 4/3, sorry, 4/3 divided by what? 2/3. And then we get my R, which is my ratio, as 2. So I say this is A as 2/3, then my R as what? As 2, and then into 9. And then we get this now, punch your calculator and say 2/3 and then 2 and then into 9, and then you get your answer as 10 to 4/3. If you don't want it to do it like this, you just want to find an nth term first, do it like that. Again, there's not going to be a problem. I'm going to say Tn into A into R into n minus 1, and then we say A1 mubani 2/3, and then my R is 2, and then into n minus 1. You find this as your nth term, and then from there you find your T10. You say this is T10 is equals to 2/3 into 2, and then your n is 10 minus 1, and then you get your same answer as this one, which is 10 to 4/3. Now number D, but see which term again. They say which term we are looking for? N. Now Tn wami bese ngimtholile, which is this one, which is 2/3 into 2 into n minus 1. I know this again is going to represent what? My Tn. Now this is a mixed fraction. Now you go to your calculator, you change this mixed fraction, you make it a normal fraction. So in your calculator, you say shift the button of the fraction, then you say 10 into 2/3, and then the normal fraction of this is basically is 32/3. That's the normal fraction, and then 2/3, and then 2 into n minus 1. Again, the first thing that we need to do here, we're going to divide by 2/3 both sides. I'm not going to show that step again. Go straight into your calculator and say 32/2 divided by this 2/3 should get the answer of 16 into 2 into n minus 1, and then my 16 shift brackets is going to be 2 into 4. Again, we're making the same basis, and then from there 4, and now the exponent, the bases are the same, we drop the exponent, so it's going to be 4 is equals to n minus 1, and then from here we know that n is going to be equals to 5. Why 5? We take this to the other side, becomes 4 plus 1, which is n is equals to 5. Then which term is equals to this? That term is term number 5. Hopefully you are still on the same page there. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Makebalo.